It's Dan, my EXP Realty, and yeah, I'm pretty dressed down. I'm about to get to the gym, but I wanted to give you the Miami market update for 2024 February. You know, I always see market updates. They put a bunch of data on the screen: number of homes sold, number of homes on the market, average median price, and how long it took to, how long something took to, what the comparison is to the month before, the year before. But I never hear the takeaways. I never hear of specific things that really help the consumer itself. So here it goes. So the Miami market update, and I'm going off of data because I wrote my notes earlier today. The median price in Miami-Dade of homes sold as of February 2024 is $533,892. The specific price per square footage, which I thought was very interesting, was $374 a square foot. So it's quite up there when in comparison to what it was the year before. Now, key takeaway, meaning that there is an increase in the median price of 6.8%. So prices of the homes sold have sold more than the year before. They have not gone down. However, it's very important to note this very specific fact, that when you compare December of 2023 to January of 2024, there has been an increase of ultimately 13.5% of homes sold. Of homes for sale. In December of 2023, you had 5,860 homes for sale, and now you have 6,672. Wow. So literally, you've almost had 1,000 homes more in inventory. So what does that mean? What it means is there's a lot more inventory. It is a buyer's market. And that is the difference between all the data being posted. For you to sit, you basically have to decipher what that data is, comparable to somebody who is a licensed realtor, as myself, who has certain designations, accredited buyer representative as myself, and otherwise, to give you the data and what that data means. Because you can have a script of paper, it doesn't mean anything. You need to understand what that data means. There's other important things that I want to talk to you, which generally you see in data: numbers of homes sold. And I thought this was a little bit alarming, but it's the trend because of the high interest rates and other factors, such as the political cycle coming up and the uncertainty coming up with who may be the president of the United States coming up. So in December of 2023, in Miami, there was 786 homes reported sales. In January of 2024, wait for it, 565 homes. That is a 28.17% drop. That is a big takeaway. What does that mean? Almost 200 homes less were sold. Buyer's market, 100%. If you look at it, that's something that you got to look at. Now, 72% of all of those homes sold were sold under asking. So you listed your home for $600, but you probably had to lower the price once or two times to sell it. So my advice to you is, if you're basically in the business of selling your home, you're in the market, you need to sell your home because you're going to either move, you're going to relocate, basically talk to a pricing strategy advisor. Just don't listen. You can do a great comparative market analysis, a CMA. You can see what the homes are selling in the area, but I think you need to look at what the homes have sold in the last 3 months, what the homes are selling for right now, what the interest rates are, and then collaboratively, if you're using a licensed realtor, my advice is come with the right number. You might be able to sell that home a lot faster. Now, another interesting fact that I have been seeing is that of the homes that were sold, only, I think, 10% were sold at asking. So that kind of tells you quite a number of days, of the 10%, only wow. And that might have been because of area, that might have been because of price, that might have been because ultimately it was just too much of a good deal, somebody wanted it, but that's important. The average sale, so in other words, how long did the home stay on the market? So the average January of 2023 was 63 days. In February, well, if you compare January of 2023 with 63 days, January of 2024, 53 days. So that's a 16% drop in terms of how long the homes are staying on the market. And why is that? I think a lot of buyers were on the fence because of the higher interest rates. And then what happened was very simple. The interest rates are starting to alleviate. You can buy down. There have been a lot more incentives and people are starting to buy more. So, you need to take that into account. It's still a buyer's market. However, there is more competition out there. I listed 3 homes last week. I already have one. I have a verbal offer and I have a written offer. And I only listed them last week. So, and I'm going to list another one this week. And before I listed, I literally said, I put a coming soon, and I already have an email from somebody who found out I'm listing the home and says, I want to buy it, please can we make a deal? So I'm telling you, if it's priced right, if it's in the right location and it's in the right area, it's going to sell. Now, this is something, basically a key takeaway out of all this data. Average price, how long it's been on the market, how many homes have been sold, etc., etc. The key takeaway, homes are starting to sell faster. Why? Because there have been reports from the Fed that the interest rates are supposed to drop at least 2 to 3 times, especially with any sort of political cycle. They're very cyclical. I would venture to say that the interest rates may drop 3 to 4 times. Once that happens, you're going to have a lot more competition. And that competition may outbid you. I'm not saying the prices are going to be, during the COVID era, which were ridiculous. I think that's over. I think the correction is in place. However, you're going to have a lot more competition. And Miami is such a unique market that things that are happening in Miami, which may not be happening in the rest of the United States, is that a lot of people, even though Miami had 150,000 people exodus last year, there's still an enormous interest of people moving to Miami. So 150,000 people leave, another 200,000 people move in. So there is an enormous need for homes. I was in the 33176 zip code yesterday, and Sanctuary Gardens I saw a whole community there of about maybe 40 homes. Yes, they're luxury, 2.6 million. However, it's down the street from Pinecrest. And these are big homes, brand spanking new. So go to Pinecrest, buy an older home for 2 million plus, or buy a brand new home from a great builder off of 112th Street. Which one's better? That's a question up for you as the consumer. But the fact of the matter is, builders are building. There's a lot of new construction. I'm telling you, it's important. And I want to have this conversation with you. If you like this video, like it. Please subscribe to my channel, Danny Maya. Click on it. But in addition, this is very important. I need you to understand this. When you look at all this data, whether, you have a conundrum of realtors posting all this data, understand the data. If you don't understand it, speak to somebody. What does this mean? What does it mean for a home to be on the market? Understand the data. If you don't understand it, speak to somebody. What does this mean? What does it mean for a home to be on the market for this long? It isn't necessarily what you think it is. There's other key takeaways. The overall takeaway of my video today is that it's still a buyer's market. However, there is more competition and things are starting to trend down. In other words, instead of 63 days, it is now 56 days. So think about that. It will get to the point eventually where that marker won't be a month and a half. It might start getting to be a month. And when it starts getting to be a month, where the homes are there and they're gone a week later, 2 weeks later, I'm telling you, it's gonna make a big difference. Because the overall spear is that there's a lot more homes for sale, but eventually people will go and start buying a lot of homes. So, good luck to you out there. Use a licensed realtor for this journey of yours. If you're a buyer and you're not using a realtor, do your homework, figure out what the prices are. You may want to look at what the Zillow prices are. Zillow isn't necessarily your standard. However, it's a guide. Also, use Realtor.com. Use what the prices of the houses that have sold in the last couple of months and give you an idea of what to make an offer if you are dealing with the listing agent yourself. Because the listing agent is going to tell you nothing more than, hey, this is the price, do the best, I'll present whatever for you, but if you don't do this, it's not going to be there. That's not the way to handle it. If you're going to go about it alone, do your homework. Danny Maya, eXp Realty. Follow me on IG, Dan Maya 305. Follow me on TikTok, Dan Maya 305.